So, any of you young men or men in general who've watched my comment, you know that I am a big proponent on finding your passion. You can work a job making a ton of money, but if it's not your passion, after a while, it just turns into money, right? Making money. And you have no real passion behind it. So, I have plenty of people asking me, well, how do I pursue my passion and work a job at the same time? Or how do I pursue my passion while working a full-time job? Or, you know what, I'm just busy. Like, when will I have time? Or when do I have time to pursue a passion? But what if I was to tell you guys that there is a way that you can do that? That, listen, whether you are working a full-time job, whether you are in school, whether you are a parent, there is a way that you can work and sustain yourself and pursue your passion. And I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. You do that, young men, the same way that I'm doing it, or anybody else who was not fortunate enough to have a business handed down to them, or they had to build it from scratch. You do it the way they do it. They do it, young men, when they're not working their regular job. In other words, they manage their time in a way to where they're not wasting the time that they're not working. They take that time to build their business, right? Young men, I am at work right now. I am on a lunch break, or I'm between runs right now, right? See, many of you work 8-hour days, but you're not working that entire 8 hours. There is time that you can commit to your passion or your purpose when you're at work but not working. How about before you go into work? Young men, before I go into work, I'm usually editing videos. I'm usually looking over my Discord. I am doing shorts that I can put on Instagram before. How about after work? Many men, especially young men, you get off work and it's time to go kick it. It's time to relax. It's time to watch Netflix. It's time to drink your beer or have your shot or whatever. Young man, when you're trying to build a passion and a purpose and you're already busy, then before work and after work, that's not time for kicking it. That's time for working on your passion. That is time for learning. That is time for researching and becoming more competent at the thing that you say is your passion. Young men, it boils down to time management, right? Because one thing I will never advocate for is the ideal of, you know what, guys, or you know what, I'm going to pursue my passion, so I'm going to quit my job, right? I'm going to quit my job so I can go and pursue my passion. I will call you every kind of crazy if you did that. At the end of the day, your passion is not paying you yet, right? And you have to sustain yourself. Last I saw, you have to pay for cars and insurance and food and rent and all of these things. So, young man, I will never, ever advocate for you in pursuit of your purpose or your passion to quit your job. No, what you do is while you're working your job. I heard this saying years ago at a Amway conference. The guy said that livings are made from 8 to 4, 9 to 5, right? Livings are made at work. Fortunes are made from 5 to 11, 6 to 12, after work, after you get off work. That's when fortunes are made. Fortunes are made, young man, with what you do after you get off work, with what you do before work, during work. So my suggestion, young men, for all of those who want to pursue a passion, I commend you, and you should, because I've had the jobs where I've made tons of money. But after a while, you get up in the morning and you dread going in there because at the end of the day, it's just a job. I have seen people do their passion, right? I have seen people work their passion and it don't even look like work. And that's what I want. And that's what I would want for you. So if you want that, guys, if you really want that, you cannot quit a job or you cannot stop sustaining yourself in pursuit of that. You have to do that right alongside of what you need to do in order to sustain yourself. And all of that comes down to is managing your time more effectively. The good thing about it is that you have a job or you have a way to sustain yourself while you're working on your passion. I read a book years ago by Robert Kiyosaki, this one was The Cash Flow Quadrant. And this is the way it usually goes. It goes from an employee to a business owner. And that employee becomes a business owner right alongside of his job, right? He works his job during the day. He gets off at night and grinds on his business, right? So you go from an employee and you become a business owner, right? It is not quitting your job as an employee in pursuit of becoming a business owner. No, you have to develop that right alongside of working so you can take care of yourself, so you can sustain yourself and your family. But it is not an excuse, young man. Just because I have a job, I can't pursue my passion because I don't have, or because I don't have time because I work or I go to school. That is absolute bullshit. You absolutely have time. You just have to manage it more effectively. So if you want to pursue a passion and you're wondering how you do that when you're already working a full-time job, you do it right alongside of it. Okay? So listen, I am the Over 50 guy / the online dad. Hope that helps, guys.